Nothing is more frustrating than waiting on your refund and you don't know why. Hi, I'm Steph, and welcome to the part 2 of Where's My Refund series. In this video, I wanted to stress some reasons why your refund may be delayed. You may have made plans for that money before you received it. I've been there, so I know, but over the years, I've learned that you do not make any plans unless you have that check from the IRS or that money has been deposited in your account. They don't know about your plans. It's not personal. It's just that the IRS have to go through a process of checking certain things like your identity, your social security number, any dependents that you may claim on your tax return. They have to make sure that no one else is able to claim those dependents that you have on your tax return. They also check for fraud to make sure that your information pertains to you and someone is not trying to file a frivolous tax return on your behalf. Those are some of the things that they check. They also check your income verification. So for instance, if you have a W-2, you put that information on your tax return, but then before you get that W-2, the company that you work for has to send that W-2 off to the IRS. The IRS takes that information that they got from the company and what you have on your tax return, and they compare the two and they match it up. And if anything is out of sorts, if anything has a potential discrepancy, just like your basic information, your personal information, then that would result in a delay on your refund as well, because they have to review the return in depth. Also, if you get 1099s, the same thing goes with the W-2 as well. The company that you have worked for, they'll send in a 1099 and the IRS matches up that information with that 1099 information that's on your return and see if there's any discrepancies. Also, tax credits. If you are filing your return and claiming like a child tax credit or a earned income credit, those credits have to be reviewed and make sure all of the criteria is met. Make sure all of the incomes that pertains to the certain thresholds of that tax credits that they give to families to give them a little tax break on it. They have to make sure that all those things line up so that when you do file your return, they can be able to release that refund more quickly. The fastest way to get your refund, I would say, is e-filing that return. It takes, they say, about 20 to 21 days to know if you've gotten that return. If you e-file, you might get it sooner. But if you have to, by chance, do a return manually and you print out the return, your refund can be delayed because you forgot to sign the return. I don't know how many times I've heard people say, oh my goodness, I didn't sign the return, or they signed the return for the first page, but then there's other places where they need to sign. So please, please, please make sure that you file that return, print it out, sign in the appropriate places, and then make sure that you keep a copy for yourself, please, and make sure that you are signing that return in the appropriate places, because if it is not signed, they'll either kick it back to you or they will notify you by letter and say that, hey, there's a discrepancy in your return, you didn't file it, or whatever it is that the issue is. They will mail it. They will not call you. They will not send an email. They work through mailing, and whatever address that you have on file with the IRS, they are going to use that mailing address to prevent any kind of fraud or any kind of people getting access to your information in order to kind of navigate a return on your behalf. So make sure that you keep up with your status on your refund. You can go to the irs.gov Where's My Refund, which I mentioned in part 1 of this series. And if this video has helped you, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And as always, you'll keep an incredible service simple with Steph. Thanks for watching. Be blessed.